Welcome to Fangirl Football. I'm Judy.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Lauren.
Are you ready to kick off week 3 football with the New England Patriots at the New York Jets? I think if you'd asked me during preseason if I thought this would be a good game, I probably would have said no way. But after the week 2 surprises and the upsets, I'm kind of excited for this Thursday night game. And maybe the changes we might see. I don't know. I had written off New England Patriots before the season started, but now 2 weeks in, I feel a lot different about them. What do you think?
They're only 1-1. But, at least we're not being forced to watch the Carolina Panthers on Thursday night football. So it is a step up from Panther football. And the Patriots have surprised me in being better and more competitive in their games than I thought they were going to be. Not so sure I'm as excited about this game as you are, but it should be a good, fair game. I'm more excited on the Jets side. Aaron Rodgers has looked much better than I thought he was going to this season. And hey, he's made it through 2 games, so Jets fans are still probably excited, and at least they're off to a 1-1 start and not an 0-2.
Yeah, I guess both of these teams are 1-1 currently. So it could be an equal matchup. I mean, Patriots, we've seen their offensive line struggle to hold it together. Even the head coach apparently said some commentary on Monday that the offensive line was average at best, and called out that it doesn't have to be a sack to actually affect the passing game. Just having them in the area. I know we've seen passes knocked out and intercepted just by people being in the area, so can definitely see that. They're probably going to rush, I'm guessing. That's what we've been seeing a lot this season from them.
Yeah, it's hard to get excited over the Patriots offense. Jacoby Brissett, I'm still hoping that we get to see Drake May, but we're still stuck with Jacoby Brissett. And the receivers, I honestly would struggle to name one of them. But when we get to building some lineups here, we'll have to figure out who the receivers actually are.
I mean, it feels like the only people who are healthy on the Patriots are Jacoby Brissett, the receivers, the tight end, and the running backs. That whole offensive line is currently listed as questionable, and then you have a bunch of questionable on the defense, too.
Well, it could get exciting because we might get to see Drake May instead of Jacoby Brissett if there's no offensive line to protect Jacoby Brissett. I did watch the Seahawks game a little bit last week, and I saw Brissett getting hit numerous times, and one, I thought he was going to leave for a while, but he came right back in. That's a rough job leading that offense and knowing that you aren't getting protected. And we'll see how he does on Thursday night. And if he can make it through another game with an offensive line that is struggling.
What about the Jets? How does their offensive line compare? What do you think?
They've been doing a pretty good job of protection for Aaron Rodgers, and he's been doing an exceptional job of getting rid of the ball quickly. If from the moment it's snapped until it leaves his hand should be no more than 2.5 seconds, and he knows exactly where he's going. He must be doing an awesome job reading the defenses and making that decision before the ball is snapped. So he's done really well at doing that, which helps his offensive line. And I feel like Jacoby Brissett's probably not as good as Aaron Rodgers in doing something like that. So he gets it off quick and helps out his whole team. They too have been rushing though a lot and focusing on shorter passes. So they've been using both of their last week they used both of their running backs with Breece Hall, and then rookie Braylon Allen got to have a stellar day coming in with 2 touchdowns. So that was exciting as well to watch. I think this one we're going to see a lot more of both teams trying to run it, and the defense is having a fairly decent day. But I'm more excited definitely on the Jets offensive starters than I am on the Patriots. How about you?
I unfortunately have to agree there. I just think that the Jets have stronger offensive starters than the Patriots do currently. Um, yes, Hunter Henry has looked great for a couple of runs the last couple of games, but Hunter Henry can't do everything.
So were his points off of runs and not receptions?
I think they were off of receptions. It would be one of those where I grab a chip, I'm about to eat, and I look up and I see the screen, and there's Hunter Henry running down the line. So it's one of those where technically the points are receptions, but when you see it at first, it's the run, the yards after yards after catch.
Yes. Okay. The yards after catch. Yeah, I can see that he had 12 targets in the game against Seattle last weekend. I wonder if that's because they were behind a little bit, or he was really just the one they were going to, apparently.
I mean, he was making it through the Seattle defense, so I'm not surprised they kept targeting him.
Going with that hot hand. So let's go ahead and jump into one of our contests. First, we'll go to our website. And if you're ever looking for a contest, we have 2 contests for Thursday night. We've got one in Fantasy Sports Evo, where you pick teams and not players. And we're going to build a lineup there here in just a minute. And then we'll have a contest in FanDuel as well that we're going to also build a lineup for. But if you're ever looking for where our contest and how to get in them, you can find them a couple ways. So you can go to our website, fangirlfootball.com, and they're on the homepage and the DFS page. Just look to the right and you'll see both the links to the Evo contest and the FanDuel contest. And then if you go into Facebook, then we'll have them listed in the events section on our Facebook group. And from there, you can just click on the links and get in it. As long as you've already created a Fantasy Sports Evo account or FanDuel account, then you can go ahead and go straight to the contest. If you still need to create an account, you'll have to create the account first. And in Fantasy Sports Evo, use promo code FANGIRL, and they are matching up to $100 deposit. And you'll also get a $10 bonus with our promo code. So we're going to go on in there. So Lauren, we usually develop a story here that we're going to go down and tell ourselves that this is a story for this game. Do you got any strong feelings on what our story is going to be for this game?
Both teams are going to be rushing. So I think we'll have to dig into which one we're going to pick there. But if there was going to be any passing touchdowns, it's going to come from Aaron Rodgers. I just don't see Jacoby Brissett making a passing touchdown or making enough for them to win the game.
I agree. And I do like the Jets defense. The Jets defense has given up some yardage on the ground, but they haven't been giving up the passing yards. So we're going to go ahead then, and the passing touchdowns here in Evo, we will select the New York Jets. Passing yards, I'm going to go Jets again because I still just don't think that New England can do it. The only reason that they need to is if we go on the assumption that they're behind and they're trying to play catch up. And I don't really know that they're going to be behind.
I guess you called this out a little bit ago with Hunter Henry, that those yards, was it rushing or was it passing? And I guess they were technically passing. Yes. So if they're going to use Hunter Henry, do we think Hunter Henry will have more passing yards than the Jets wide receivers and tight ends?
I guess it could all be to Hunter Henry. But, I mean, Hunter Henry was 109 of the 149 yards that Jacoby Brissett had. So he only passed for 40 yards to anyone else. And that's a little scary. I still just the Jets to have more passing yards. How about you?
Yeah. More options, more opportunities, more experience.
Yeah. Receptions. You think maybe the Patriots could pull off more receptions with Hunter Henry, or are we going to just stay on the Jets side of the ball here going with receptions?
I feel like we have to stay on the Jets side of the ball here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Rushing touchdowns. We can't just give it all to the Jets.
I know.
It's kind of what we want to do, but let's assume that the Patriots are going to get the rushing touchdowns.
Who?
Do you like that?
I guess they would be giving it to Stevenson.
Yes. Stevenson would be their running back, and last week he had 81 yards rushing and 1 touchdown, and he had 120 the first week and 1 touchdown. So each week he's had a touchdown. But last week, let's see. Braylon Allen had 1 rushing touchdown last week. And Breece Hall didn't have any rushing touchdowns. They had some receiving touchdowns, but if we're just looking at rushing, it seems like we should still just stick on the Patriots side here. I guess now we're looking at rushing yards, and I feel like the Jets, even that they pass to their running backs a lot. And so those are receiving yards and not the rushing yards. So New England will just hand off to Stevenson. So I'm going to go with New England again on the rushing yard. Sound good?
Yeah, especially looking back at last week's games, I could definitely see the Patriots passed for 100. What do we say? 149 yards.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the Jets, they pass more, which matches up with what we're saying. They only rushed for 100 yards, whereas the Patriots rushed for almost 200 yards. So this is lining up very much with what last week's games looked like. So are we saying the Jets are a bit like the Seahawks and the Patriots are a bit like the Titans? And it's going to be a repeat of the games from last week?
I don't know that it's as much about who they're playing as the little offense that they have and just getting things going. I don't think anything just really stands out here. If I was going to be inclined to believe something that hasn't happened, it would be that the Jets were going to light it up on passing.
I agree there. We've seen Aaron Rodgers have previous games where his passing has been on point, and that's how they got all the touchdowns.
Yeah. So now we have a kicking team, and the kicking team, I hate kickers. The only thing I'll say here is the Jets allowed 26 points to the 49ers kicker in week 1. So I would be inclined to go with Patriots kicker here against the Jets, who love to give up points to the kicker, which means you're not scoring touchdowns at least. I don't have a better way to pick the kicker. All right, so we're going to let the Patriots take the kicking. All right, we're in. And hopefully everyone else will come in and play, and we'll see, how many people can get this right, picking the teams and not players.
Our story here is that Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are going to have all the passing touchdowns and the passing yards and the receptions, much stronger on the passing side. Patriots, who we've been seeing rush mostly, are going to have the rushing touchdowns and the rushing yards and probably be stopped a bit more by the Jets defense. So they're going to have to kick more than the Jets are. Yes.
You could have even got me to just give it all to the Jets except the kicking. But we didn't. We'll let somebody else enter that lineup. All right. So let's move over to FanDuel. And now we're going to have to look at our players. This, I feel, gets really difficult because none of these players have had super weeks on these teams. The highest point total that we've seen in weeks 1 and 2. Week 1, we actually, here is a wide receiver that had a good game, but it was against the 49ers and it was at Alan Lazard. And they were just behind in that game. So I feel like they were passing probably a little bit more than they want to, but he still did rack up 23.9 FanDuel points. I went to him last week in my lineups because I thought he was a good cheap play, and he didn't deliver, which makes me want to go back to him because I feel like he had a great week, he had a down week, and now I'm ready to be back on him again. I don't like to just move away from him. And he could be pretty cheap. Let's see. I don't want him as my captain, but he's actually not cheap at 9,500. So that's kind of expensive for what we're getting with Lazard. Let's keep looking. Let's think about our captain. I think since we both think that they're going to be running a lot, that we should be looking at Stevenson or one of the Jets running backs with Braylon Allen or Breece Hall. Breece Hall's 1,600, and let's see where Allen is. Braylon Allen is 10,000. So Lazard is still the cheapest of all of those, but I don't want him again as my captain. So we need one of these to be our captain.
Hunter Henry.
You want Hunter Henry as the captain?
If New England is only pretty much using Hunter Henry.
But we already said they're not passing. That they're going to run and be successful in the run. So if they're successful in the run, then we want Stevenson. Or we can say they're going to be successful passing. And he only had
Stevenson.
He only had that 1 week. Prior to that, he was worth less than 4 points. Hunter Henry.
Yeah, and looking at Stevenson, he had 20 FanDuel points week 1 and 16 week 2. So it's I think that makes sense.
I think that makes sense too. But now we want to bring in some more of these people and we need to save some money. So I wonder if we can get Breece Hall. Let's just do like all of the running backs and Braylon Allen. And then, we can let's look at Lazard. We can do him. And now we only have 9,500 left though. You like either of the defenses in this case, or should we look for kicker? We like that kicker. Oh, they don't have kickers, do they? No. Oh, they do. They're way down here.
I thought they did. Yeah.
There's a Patriots kicker. He's only 5,000. If we put him in, we can actually upgrade this, and we could get Garrett Wilson or Aaron.
Yeah.
And then we could get Garrett Wilson. So by putting that kicker in, I assume he's the right kicker. Let's look. Yeah. He's their kicker.
Aaron Rodgers has been worth more than Garrett Wilson the last 2 weeks.
Has he?
Yeah.
Well, then Garrett Wilson is
not by a small amount either.
Really?
Week 1, they're about the same. Week 2, there's 8 FanDuel point difference.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, maybe it's time for Garrett Wilson to have a breakout game. I do like the Jets to be on top in this game, so maybe we should switch Stevenson and Garrett Wilson. I mean, we pretty much assumed that we get all the Jets points because we have Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and Garrett Wilson. And I feel like those are the players. We could have Lazard jump in there, but I like all 3 of them. And I could definitely be I feel like we should put one of the Jets players in as our captain since I do think the Jets are going to win. We forgot to pick them, But I think I'll be picking the Jets for sure. But I got to tell you, every Thursday night I've lost. I feel like I should be, letting my dog pick because she's got a lot better record on Thursday night than I do.
I just get the sense for the Patriots. I know everything we have talked about has been opposite that, but I just have this feeling.
Well, then you have a hunch that it's going to be the Patriots because nobody expects it to be the Patriots. So it's going to be the Patriots. I feel like then we need to put Hunter Henry into here, but I think I'm going to this is my entry. So I'm going to do what I think. I'm going the Jets. So I'm going to actually move Garrett Wilson into my captain spot and Stevenson back on the team. And I'm going to go with this, where I've got Garrett Wilson as my captain, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Ramondre Stevenson, and Chad Ryan, their kicker, to round it out. And then I'll let you go on your Patriots side and work in Hunter Henry into your lineup into the contest.
With my hunch.
With your hunch. Does that sound good?
I like that plan.
All right. So I got the Jets. You got the Patriots. I'm looking for my first Thursday night correct pick'em. It's a bad way to enter the weekend by already losing. So we'll see what happens. But tomorrow we will be recording another show and introducing all of the games for this weekend and reviewing them and doing all of our picks. And hopefully I'll get more right this week than I did last week. Remember that you can always go to our website and find the links to our current contest and join us in playing these fun games. It really helps keep you more engaged in the contest. I think it does. I'm always looking at my phone, rooting for my players, especially when there's only one game going on. On Sunday afternoon, when I've got, 9 games on the screen, I don't necessarily need more going on. But on Thursday night, especially when it may be a lower scoring game, I'm going to need something to keep me engaged into that game. And these contests are a great way to do that.
We'd love to hear from you. Do you agree with us on these lineups? Leave us a comment. Let us know. And join us on our free Thursday night daily fantasy contests. If you enjoy our podcast, we'd love to hear from you. The best way you can support us is to leave a 5-star review, follow our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or follow our Instagram or Facebook. Getting positive reviews and hearing from y'all really helps us out on our rankings, and it will support our show.